It all leads to this moment. It started with stepping out and discovering what you're capable of. Planning your future while learning, serving, and getting a real collegiate experience. Because the place you start can change everything. Itawamba Community College. You belong here.
Guys, you're not going to believe the luck I've had lately. Just the other day, I had a flat tire, thought I was in big trouble. Before I know it, somebody pulled over, fixed the tire.
Oh, that's not luck, Kirk. It's because
that's not the only thing. How about when I'm in a studio, drop the cell phone, bang, shatters completely. Guy hands me a brand new cell phone.
Yeah, Kirk, that's because you have Renaissance Rewards Extra.
Yeah, roadside assistance, cell phone protection, coupon straight to your phone.
And another discount with Renaissance Rewards Extra, Mr. Herbstreit.
Life's just easier when you have Renaissance Rewards Extra.
Welcome into the ICC Hour presented by Renaissance Bank. I'm your host, Adam Gore, and I greatly appreciate you taking time out of your Tuesday afternoon to join us here on Super Talk 101.9 FM. As you know, this year we've been celebrating 20 years of telling the stories of our students, faculty, and staff who helped make Itawamba Community College such a special place, while also sharing the memories, the moments, and the milestones that have helped shape ICC throughout the years. Now, on today's show, we'll visit with Ramsey Montgomery, a pitcher on ICC's nationally ranked softball team and a student in the college's nationally recognized OTA program. Now, if you're a current or former student athlete, you'll appreciate Ramsey's perspective on balancing the demands of college athletics and life away from the field. And if you've been through or you're currently going through the OTA program here at ICC, you'll also connect with her journey there as well. Joining us for that conversation will be ICC head softball coach Carson Owens. And now, what a time it is for this conversation. The Indians, who were ranked number 14 by the time we recorded the show, are coming off a 4-1 win over the number one team in the country on Friday when A.B. Marler delivered a walk-off 3-run home run in the bottom of the seventh inning to seal the victory. I do encourage you to visit letsgoicc.com, or you can follow us on TikTok at Let's Go ICC to see that home run and a special moment there for the softball team beating the number one team in the country on Friday. Before we get to that conversation, however, I do want to remind you that orientation sessions for the upcoming fall semester are now underway here at ICC. Itawamba Community College has open registration for Orientation 2026. It's a required and free experience designed to help incoming freshmen get ready for a strong start to their academic career. Orientation gives new students important information about things like academic programs, advising, financial aid, campus resources, and student life. Students will have the opportunity to meet faculty and staff members. They'll also receive guidance on course registration, and they'll get a clear understanding of what to expect when they begin their career here at ICC. Parents and guardians who attend will also take part in a special session that's designed just for them. They'll get information on academic expectations, student support services, and they'll also get ways to stay involved throughout their students' college experience. The 2026 orientation schedule includes a 21-plus ACT honors session tomorrow at 1 p.m. on the Fulton campus. Now, there's also going to be other Fulton campus sessions available as well. The first one will be on Friday, April the 17th at 8:30 and 1 p.m. Then also on Friday, April the 24th at 8:30 and 1 p.m. And then Tuesday, June 9th, you've probably guessed it, at 8:30 and 1 p.m., Wednesday, June 10th, and Wednesday, July 15th, both those also at 8:30 and 1 p.m. on the Fulton campus. There'll be two sessions available on the Tupelo campus, and those will be offered on Thursday, June 11th at 1 p.m. and Tuesday, July the 14th, also at 1 p.m. All first-time freshmen are required to attend one orientation session, and there's no cost to participate. Now, students may register online at iccms.edu/orientation. Say that one more time for you, iccms.edu/orientation. Now, if you got questions, you can get those answers by emailing orientation@iccms.edu. One more time, that's orientation@iccms.edu. Now, this is the important part. Space is limited for each session. So the sooner you register, the better off you'll be at getting the session that you want. So I do encourage you, if you haven't registered, do it right now. Well, do it after the show. Unless you're driving, don't do it as you're driving either. Get to a safe place and make sure you register for orientation here at ICC. Again, you can visit iccms.edu for more information of what's going on here at Itawamba Community College and keep up with all things athletics by visiting letsgoicc.com. When we come back, we'll have our conversation with Ramsey Montgomery here on the ICC Hour, being presented to you by Renaissance Bank.
Are you looking for a place
that creates lifelong friendships?
A place that feels like home.
A place that drives you to new opportunities.
That teaches you skills to improve.
A place that sets the standard.
That challenges you to be better every day.
A place full of opportunity.
We are that place. We are Itawamba Community College, and you belong here.
You're always pushing yourself. There's no time to rest. You keep moving forward. The only thing better than your last accomplishment is your next.
What's next? What's next?
What's next?
So, Allie, what's next?
I guess we'll see.
Find a bank that's as excited about your future as you are. A bank that asks,
what's next?
Renaissance Bank, understanding you.
I wish we could get a stuffed crust pizza at a great price.
Get Little Caesar's new large stuffed crunch crust for $9.49.
Look at that delicious crust.
Talk about more bang for your buck.
What did you say? Deal Deer hates two things: bad pizza deals and deer puns.
He's fine. And $9.49 new large stuffed crunch crust is the lowest price in stuffed crust. Little Caesars is the real deal.
Pizza.
Are you in the market for a new or used vehicle? Look no further than Metro Ford. We have an incredible selection of F-150s, Explorers, Broncos, and so much more. Whether you're looking for a rugged truck for the job site or a family-friendly SUV, our expert team is here to help you find the perfect vehicle to fit your lifestyle and budget. And with our streamlined financing process, getting behind the wheel of your dream car has never been easier. Stop by today and experience the Metro Ford difference. We're conveniently located at 1000 Barnes Crossing Road in Tupelo. Online at MetroFordAutoSales.com. That's MetroFordAutoSales.com.
ICC fans, we've got you covered like never before. The all-new Let'sGoICC.com is your award-winning home for everything ICC athletics, and when it's game time or showtime, head to Let'sGoICCTV.com, the official streaming home for ICC athletics, fine arts, and other special events. Watch it live or on demand anytime, anywhere. Let'sGoICC.com and Let'sGoICCTV.com, your front row seat for all things ICC.
Guys, you're not going to believe the luck I've had lately. Just the other day, I had a flat tire, thought I was in big trouble. Before I know it, somebody pulled over, fixed the tire.
Oh, that's not luck, Kirk. It's because
that's not the only thing. How about when I'm in a studio, drop the cell phone, bang, shatters completely. Guy hands me a brand new cell phone.
Yeah, Kirk, that's because you have Renaissance Rewards Extra.
Yeah, roadside assistance, cell phone protection, coupon straight to your phone.
And another discount with Renaissance Rewards Extra, Mr. Herbstreit.
Life's just easier when you have Renaissance Rewards Extra.
And welcome back to the ICC Hour here on Super Talk Mississippi 101.9 FM. As always, the ICC Hour is being brought to you by our friends over at Renaissance Bank. They are the bank that understands you. You can find out why by visiting RenaissanceBank.com. Well, if you know me, a lot of people come up and say, Gore, you're one of the hardest working, most busy people that I know. Well, I say that because you don't know Ramsey Montgomery. She makes me look extremely lazy, and we're going to find out more about her today as she's our guest on the show. Ramsey, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Also joining us is Coach Carson Owens, the softball coach here at ICC. And, Coach, appreciate you joining us.
Yeah, glad to be here.
So we're going to start with Coach, kind of let him warm up in the bullpen. So, Coach, real quick, tell us about Ramsey here with the softball team.
Yeah, we're very fortunate to have Ramsey. Number one, she's an outstanding human being, which is, what we try to recruit in our program. But number two, she's an outstanding player as well. She's an All-American. She is the NJCA leader in strikeout. She's the MAC leader in strikeout. She's the MAC leader in ERA. She's top 10 in the country in ERA. And all of those numbers are not even comparable to what she does off the field as well. I think we're going to kind of get into it a little bit, but she's an all-star student, a 4.0 student, as well as in our OTA program, as well as she is graduating in May with an associate's degree. Will graduate next May from the OTA program, and will also graduate with a degree in 4 years from Ole Miss as well. I mean, she's she's a well-rounded individual on the field, off the field, and we are just very lucky to have her in our program.
So this is starting my 17th year here at ICC, and I have been trying to figure out how to find 28, 29 hours in a day. Ramsey, how have you done it? I know it's very tough to talk about yourself, so I'll give you that. But, we'll talk a little bit more about the academic side. But, as a student athlete, you're extremely busy, have high expectations as a student athlete. But when you're in the OTA program, those also meet. But just sort of talk about life as a student athlete here at ICC.
So life as a student athlete, especially being in an OTA program, is very busy. But I look at it as being very fortunate to be able to have my schedule be that busy. And so something that I always try to do is when I'm not on the softball field, I try to get my classes done, get as much schoolwork as I can. But when I come to softball, I try to put that aside. And it's almost like I have like two lives, I guess. Mm-hmm. So I have like my school life and then softball life. And I try not to mix them. I try to completely, throw what happened at school away when I get on the softball field. And when I'm at school, I try to only think about school. So I try to really balance them the best that I can.
How do you do that? Because I that's something I struggle with. Whenever I go home, I always say I'm leaving work at work, but it always follows me home. So how do you manage to be able to have that separation?
I try to just better myself in each of them every day. So when I'm at school, obviously that is my number one priority. My parents have always taught me that school is first in my life. So I really focus a lot on school and do as much as I can when I'm not on the field, like I said earlier. But when I am on the field, I try to better myself in that area too. And I think they've both, with me trying to balance them, almost help each other because I know that I have limited time to study. So I know that when I am studying, I have to really be serious and focus. And then also it's a lot of sacrifice. I have to sacrifice a lot of my weekends, a lot of my afternoons, a lot of late nights, early mornings, getting up to study and the time that I do have.
Yeah, I'm kind of like you. I find whenever I'm more busy is whenever I'm able to lock in and get stuff done. So I totally relate to you on that end of things. So, but, you talk about that, but also as a student athlete, time away. And as a student, time away is very important. Do you take time to do that, or what do you take time to basically stop and focus on Ramsey instead of softball or academics?
So I always take time in the day, either in the mornings or at night, depending on whichever works best for my schedule that day. But I always take time to get in my Bible and read, do a Bible study, have some quiet time with myself and the Lord, because that is my number one priority in life. That's my main focus in life. And I know that if I don't have that, I don't have either school or softball. And I know that I would never be as successful as I am in either one of them without him. So that's kind of how I choose to better myself and not focus on either one and try to spend my, I guess you could say, leisure time that I do have doing that. I like to participate in a lot of things, though. Like I've been going to the BSU some. I've been trying to get involved as much as I can. And we have to do a lot of service hours also. So giving back to the community, focusing on something else other than myself. But also getting in my word and reading my Bible. That's one of my top priorities every day.
That's awesome, and it is also a great way to stay focused in that sense. So let's talk a little softball before we talk academics. Having a great year here at ICC, coming off a great year at that other school, and you made the right decision coming over here the second time. No, I'm kidding. But as a student athlete, people don't realize the work that goes into being a student athlete. But what is it that's working for you this year that's helped you be so successful?
I think, like I said, just leaving school off the field, and when I'm on the field, just really focusing on getting better. I know it's my last year playing softball, and so I'm trying to soak in every single moment I can and make the best of every situation and every moment that I have. And then also my teammates I've really been able to lean on them. They know how, I guess, crazy my life has been and how busy I am, and they've truly poured into me, and they love me and they give me everything they have every day. So I know when I show up to the field that I have to give them everything that I have as well. Coach,
let's talk about it from your perspective. Obviously, she's got standards she's got to meet to be part of the team. But at the same time, heck, you can't ask much more out of anybody for what she's given right now. How do you handle that as a coach?
Yeah, I think it helps knowing that she's going to do all the right things. She does the right things on the field. She does the right things off the field. She communication is the biggest thing. Like I think pretty much every day are in constant communication. If she has a late lab, then she's going to be there at the lab. If she has community service hours, then she's going to do that. Obviously, school comes first in our program too. But I think the coolest thing about ICC is everybody here works great together. Obviously, me and Ramsey work great together too. But obviously, the OTA program too works great. Dr. Didi Lomanick is phenomenal. She is a phenomenal human, but she's been phenomenal at helping us get the best of both worlds, like Ramsey talked about, making sure that we're able to do our stuff that we need to do with OTA, but also able to come and be a part of softball too. And, something that Ramsey doesn't really talk about is she also is a part-time fisher. Like she's gotten into fishing here recently. She's the best grittier on our team, the best dancer. If you ask anybody on our team who's the best at that, they'll say Ramsey. So you want to talk about everything that she does. She also brings all of that to our team too. A lot of sunshine. Every day when she walks in the dugout, I think all of our team usually says, "Hey Rams," and we'll yell and say, "Hey Rams," and she says, "Hey back," and we say, "How was class?" or anything like that, and she'll tell us some of the wildest stories of who she's dealt with that day, if it's a guest speaker or something like that has come in. And so it's really awesome to hear it from a different perspective, and hear something that goes on in somebody else's day other than the normal. You know what I mean? And so she gets to practice after going through clinicals or going through whatever she's doing school wise. I think you're in school until about 3:30 pretty much every day, and then she'll come to practice and then finish practice, pitch for us, and come out and get everything she's got. So it's a really special thing to see, but it takes a really special person to do that. And so that's what Ramsey is, not only for our program, but for everybody.
So talk about the growth you've seen as her as a player from day one with the program to up to today.
Yeah, from a player's perspective, when she came in here as an All-American that literally led all of the stats that I mentioned earlier last year as well. So the biggest thing that we talked about is how we're going to be different. What are we going to add on to make last year Ramsey and this year Ramsey different? And so we sat down and I had a notebook like the very first day she got here, and I was like, what do you want to do? What do you want to get better at? So on and so forth. And then it's my job as a coach to really help her grow in those areas, especially playing wise. And so I feel like we've done a couple different things, maybe mechanically and pitching wise, that have make her give a different look than it normally does, especially because she threw over 200 something innings last year. So we've got to make sure that we're mixing it up a little bit and giving it a different look. But then number two, as a person wise, Ramsey's a great person. Ramsey was a great person when she came into our program, and she's going to be a great person when she came out. And so my biggest thing is just being there to support her and making sure that she knows that she has constant support, not only from me, from our whole team. I think that that's something that somebody, especially in Ramsey's shoes, needs a lot of. It's just making sure that they know, number one, they're loved and they're valued in every aspect. They're loved as a person, but they're also loved as a player, and that's something that our program is really intentional about. And so I think that's been the biggest area where I, as a coach, I feel like that's my job, number one, but number two, I need to be intentional about it, because she's not only giving everything to our program on the field, but she's giving everything to our program off the field and helping represent us in the very best way possible. So she needs the best from us. She needs the best from myself, from Coach Monta, from our teammates. And so does everybody in our program. And so that's what we strive to do. And that's what I strive to do every day.
Are you looking for a place
that creates lifelong friendships?
A place that feels like home.
A place that drives you to new opportunities.
That teaches you skills to improve. A place that sets the standard.
That challenges you to be better every day.
A place full of opportunity.
We are that place. We are Itawamba Community College, and you belong here.
You're always pushing yourself. There's no time to rest. You keep moving forward. The only thing better than your last accomplishment is your next.
What's next? What's next?
What's next?
So, Allie, what's next?
I guess we'll see.
Find a bank that's as excited about your future as you are. A bank that asks,
what's next?
Renaissance Bank, understanding you.
I wish we could get a stuffed crust pizza at a great price.
Get Little Caesar's new large stuffed crunch crust for $9.49.
Look at that delicious crust.
Talk about more bang for your buck.
What did you say? Deal Deer hates two things: bad pizza deals and deer puns.
He's fine. And $9.49 new large stuffed crunch crust is the lowest price in stuffed crust. Little Caesars is the real deal.
Pizza. Are you in the market for a new or used vehicle? Look no further than Metro Ford. We have an incredible selection of F-150s, Explorers, Broncos, and so much more. Whether you're looking for a rugged truck for the job site or a family-friendly SUV, our expert team is here to help you find the perfect vehicle to fit your lifestyle and budget. And with our streamlined financing process, getting behind the wheel of your dream car has never been easier. Stop by today and experience the Metro Ford difference. We're conveniently located at 1000 Barnes Crossing Road in Tupelo. Online at MetroFordAutoSales.com. That's MetroFordAutoSales.com.
ICC fans, we've got you covered like never before. The all-new Let'sGoICC.com is your award-winning home for everything ICC athletics, and when it's game time or showtime, head to Let'sGoICCTV.com, the official streaming home for ICC athletics, fine arts, and other special events. Watch it live or on demand anytime, anywhere. Let'sGoICC.com and Let'sGoICCTV.com, your front row seat for all things ICC.
Guys, you're not going to believe the luck I've had lately. Just the other day, I had a flat tire, thought I was in big trouble. Before I know it, somebody pulled over, fixed the tire.
Oh, that's not luck, Kirk. It's because
That's not the only thing. How about when I'm in a studio, drop the cell phone, bang, shatters completely. Guy hands me a brand new cell phone.
Yeah, Kirk, that's because you have Renaissance Rewards Extra.
Yeah, roadside assistance, cell phone protection, coupon straight to your phone.
And another discount with Renaissance Rewards Extra, Mr. Herbstreit.
Life's just easier when you have Renaissance Rewards Extra.
We're talking with Ramsey Montgomery and Coach Carson Owens. A true example of a student athlete is Ramsey, and I know it probably feels really awkward with us talking with you about this here, but we're going to kind of shift gears a little bit. Let's take a look at your day. We're talking about the classes that you're in, practicing. So at what time of the day, I guess it might depend, when did your day start?
So this fall we had 6 a.m. weights, so my day started bright and early at 6 a.m. Or I guess you say 5:30.
And she loved it, let me tell you. She was the bright-eyed and bushy-tailed every morning at 6 a.m. ready to get to work.
So this fall my day started at 5:30 a.m. because we had to be to weights early. But then after that, this spring it now starts around, I have to get up and study. So a lot of times I get up and study around 6 every morning. But then I stay in the dorm, so I leave the dorm, head to Tupelo around 7:30 because our classes don't start till 8:30 there. Go to class. We usually have 2 classes that morning, maybe 3, and then a lab that lasts pretty long. Sometimes lab is learning different skills that we need to know as therapists, and then sometimes lab is we actually go out to different places and work with real patients and see real people. And then I leave school at around 3:30. So I go to school from about 8:30 to 3:30 every day. Leave school, come straight here. Softball practice. I try to come straight there and change as fast as I can. And then softball practice from about, I guess I get there around 4 and practice until practice ends. And then leave there, go back, maybe eat supper, start studying again, get as much work as I can done. And then, like I said, I try to always take at least a few hours for myself because that's a necessity right now. So
Absolutely. That mental health side of it, big time there. So take us through classes. People think classes, oh, you just sit there, you take notes, you take a test, you're done. That's not the case for you. So tell us kind of an overall view of your classes.
So our classes, we do have a lot of classes. I'm in 21 hours right now with the program, 23 because I'm taking a class online. But our classes are very rigorous. We sit and listen to lecture every day. Sometimes in lab, we're obviously learning different stuff. We have check-offs. I know that's really common in nursing, but we call them check-offs, and we have to check off on different skills, and it's kind of like a pass-fail system almost, so those are important. We have a lot of tests each week, maybe about 3 or 4. So every week you're having to study for at least 3 tests probably. And then a lot of presentations and stuff. And then going out, like I said, to work with real patients, volunteering. Like I just volunteered with the Special Olympics this past Friday. So doing different things like that. But our classes, I think we have 5 classes, and then we have a field work class, which is basically our clinicals where we're going out and working with real patients.
Okay, so I'm going to ask some questions here, and you're probably going to be like, well, that's kind of dumb, Gore. But checkoffs, what is that?
So basically they teach you a skill for about 2 to 3 weeks, a couple of skills really under it. And then you go in with your instructor or maybe another person to work on, and you go in one-on-one and you have to perform the skills based off kind of like a diagnosis or a scenario that you draw, kind of like if you were reading a patient's chart, I guess. And then you perform them, and basically you get a grade based off how good you did. There is like a pass-fail system, but you can recheck in our program, which is I'm very thankful for. But so that's basically what those are. It's kind of like a real-life clinical situation.
Okay, and then that brings me to my next one, clinicals. This is basically hands-on learning. Is that right, or am I way off on that?
It is. So right now it's kind of going to be like job shadowing almost, going and watching, but you get to go and observe like real life therapists, get to see them, get to work with real patients, do as much as we can. We can only do the skills that we've checked off on. So that'll start this spring in May. I'll get to go for 3 weeks and work with real patients for 3 weeks under an OT.
So
where did you go? Will you tell them where you've gone the day we played Northwest? Where did you get
So that's the cool thing about what we're doing is we get to go to like a lot of different types of places. So I've been to nursing homes. I've been to the state hospital. I've been to a lot of different places, clinics, hospital, all kinds of places. And but that day we actually got to go tour Ashley Industry, and that's something that I feel like a lot of people don't know about the profession I'm in, but we can work with so many types of people. And so we got to go tour that because we can work with people in factories like that on body mechanics, things like that. So that was a really cool experience that we got to do that day.
What would be one of the most fun clinical, I hate to say the word fun because kind of devalues because I know it's very intense, but what was the most enjoyable clinic you've been on so far?
Well, if you ask me, I'm going to say pediatrics because I love kids. Mm-hmm. So anything to do with kids, we got to go to a child care center not too long ago and do like a fun craft activity with them. So that's probably my favorite part. But all of them are really interesting. And what's cool about it is they're all different. So every time you walk in, you never really know what you're going to get. And so it's a different experience every time we go.
It's kind of how I describe my job here. Somebody's like, how do you stay with it? Every day is a new day. Doesn't mean every day is a good day, but every day is a new day. And it does help keep things fresh and kind of keeps you motivated in that sense. So I guess the ultimate question I have now is, why the heck did you decide to do all this?
So my whole life, I've always been someone who's always been like really like have a lot of empathy for people. And I've always wanted to make a difference. I always wanted to change lives, help people. And so I thought my whole life that I was being called to do education, which is what my entire family does pretty much. Every one of them, my mom, my dad, my sister, all of them do education. And so I had always just said in high school, I'll do education just like them. Well, I'd always also said that I wanted to do special education because I just really have a heart for children with disabilities and special needs. So that was my plan coming out of high school. And like you said, I went to Northeast, was in education. And around Christmas last year, I just felt the Lord kind of tugging on my heart that I was being called for something more, something not more because education's not better, or not better, but more just because I felt like I could make a bigger impact in that sense and in the profession I'm in now. And so I really made a really rash decision, prayed about it for a few weeks, but chose to apply, and I got accepted, so I think that was definitely the Lord's doing. Like, he had it all planned, and that showed me that I was making the right decision and I was following his will. And so got accepted, but I'll say all that to say that basically the reason that I chose OT is because my grandfather got really sick with dementia, and I got to actually watch an occupational therapist come in and help him learn how to live life independently again and how to be himself again. And that really made an impact on me. So when I switched, that was always in the back of my mind. But I just never had the courage to, I guess, take a step and try it. So I finally, around Christmas last year, got brave enough and decided that that was what I was being called to. And I've never been happier. Like, it's the best decision I think I've made.
Yeah, it's real funny how we have plans in life. And then God has plans for us. You talked about that. Very similar to my story. Whenever I went to college, I was in criminal psychology. I guess I was going to be Batman. I don't know what I was going to do. But that changed. And I still tell it, and I'm starting to get goosebumps now thinking about it. I still remember whenever I was working in television, I just got to a point where, and I'm not ashamed to say this, struggling to pay bills, had to move back home with my parents. It was just tough. And I can it's where my mom's garden is now, but I can walk you to the exact spot in my backyard where I was like, God, I'm turning it over to you. You tell me where you need me to go. Because I applied for 6, 7 jobs, never got anything, never got any callbacks. 2 weeks later, Will Kohlmeyer, who used to be the SID here, called me and said they were opening an assistant job here. He'd like for me to apply for it. And I just remember it's almost like somebody poured warm water down the back of my neck. I just had such a sense of peace after that phone call. I applied for it, came over here, said a prayer on the way back. And before I got from Fulton to Okolona, they had called and offered me the job. And I accepted it right away. And Will was like, well, don't just think about it. I was like, no. I was like, this is what's meant to be. So when God works, he works in an awesome way. And I think that's great because, I saw my grandmother struggle with dementia. And that's something I don't wish on anybody. It's very, very tough to go through there. So also on you to, look beyond yourself at trying to do better for the world. We need a lot more people like that in the world. So, Coach, kind of go back to you and talk about her on that sense. Obviously that sense right there shows that she has a great deal of leadership. Talk about her leadership on the team.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. I think anytime that you get first team All-American to come into your program, I think you get leadership in that area. But off the field, it's just the same. Just like you said, there's not a better human in the world than Ramsey Montgomery. And I think that's really awesome that she's an All-American on the field and she's an All-American off the field. And she leads every day by example. I think she comes and shows up to work every single day. She talked about trying to separate the two, about school and then about softball. And I think she's the best at both of them. And she's going to work her tail off at both of them. And you never have to question what type of work ethic and what type of percentage of effort you're going to get because it's always 100%. Good days, bad days, in between days, Ramsey's going to show up, and I think that's really, really cool as a coach to be able to coach, but it's really, really cool as a person to sit back and watch somebody do what she does. All of our kids work extremely hard, and so I'm so proud of all of our team to be able to sit here as a coach and tell you that there's not one person on our team that is not going to give 100%, and that's a really, really cool thing to say.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say too. Obviously you're putting in your work to help, the team, but it's also got to be good for you to see how the team responds. Know that, hey, they've got my back. They're going to be here to pick me up, whether it be softball, whether it be class, whether it be life in general. Kind of talk about that vibe as a team.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say earlier was the Lord really put me here in the most perfect situation that I could have ever imagined. Because Coach Owens and Coach Monson did not have to take a chance on me last year. I could have just went to school and not ever played again. And they gave me the opportunity to play one more year, and I will forever be in debt to that. But another thing is my teammates, they have been the most supportive people that I know. Every day they come in and like he said, they ask me how my day went, and they're invested in what I'm doing. They ask me questions all the time. And they love to hear my stories about it. And that means the world to me. And yeah, I definitely could not do it without them. That's 100% for sure. I could never do it without them.
What motivates you to keep going? We all have bad days. Like today when I woke up, I just could not, for whatever reason, get in gear. But I finally found that gear, fought through, the struggle. What motivates you to just get up and keep on keeping on?
I would say, based on school and OTA, definitely my grandfather, and knowing that is what helped him be independent again, and that's what helped him live life to the fullest before he passed. That keeps me going every single day in school because I know that I'm able to use his life to help others and to make an impact on others. But also, he asked us this fall what our purpose was in life, and I said my purpose was to fulfill the Lord's calling on my life. And every day I get up and I feel like this is where I belong. This is where I need to be going. The Lord's opened every single door possible for me to be able to be here that he did not have to open. And I know this is what he's put me on track to be. I know that this is what he can use his will through me to do. And so I think every morning that I just try to get up and remember that. And that truly is what keeps me going the most.
That's home. That's just like the Ravens. That's just like Pahokee, Florida. That's my second home. I got my degree from there, my first degree, college degree. It's part of my heart, it's part of my soul, it's part of my spirit. And, it's everything. Itawamba Community College, baby, it's everything. It shaped me up to being a great man because it was part of the journey of me becoming the young man I am today. And it's home, man. That's it. Like, I could go there and lay my head down without no problems. Itawamba Community College, the best story here.
You're always pushing yourself. There's no time to rest. You keep moving forward. The only thing better than your last accomplishment is your next.
What's next? What's next?
What's next?
So, Allie, what's next?
I guess we'll see.
Find a bank that's as excited about your future as you are. A bank that asks,
what's next?
Renaissance Bank, understanding you.
This broadcast is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Metro Ford in Tupelo, Little Caesars, Guarantee Bank in Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, Max Home, Bank Okolona, the ICC BSU, Samstown Market, the ICC Wesley Foundation, the ICC Alumni Association and Foundation, your Itawamba County State Farm Insurance Agent, Brandon Poland, and thanks to donations to the Sports Information Indian Club from viewers like you.
They say Diet Coke is a mom's drink. Well, you copied her jeans, her spin, her shoes, her scrunchie, and whether you realize it or not, her music. Now, copy her drink. Drink what your mama gave you.
Hey, honey, could you help me with this? Today tastes like staying in. And it never tasted this good.
Guarantee Bank, formerly known as First American National Bank, is a proud supporter of ICC Athletics. Visit gbtonline.com. Guarantee Bank, we're more than a bank, we're a community.
ICC fans, we've got you covered like never before. The all-new Let'sGoICC.com is your award-winning home for everything ICC athletics, and when it's game time or showtime, head to Let'sGoICCTV.com, the official streaming home for ICC athletics, fine arts, and other special events. Watch it live or on demand anytime, anywhere. Let'sGoICC.com and Let'sGoICCTV.com, your front row seat for all things ICC.
Are you in the market for a new or used vehicle? Look no further than Metro Ford. We have an incredible selection of F-150s, Explorers, Broncos, and so much more. Whether you're looking for a rugged truck for the job site or a family-friendly SUV, our expert team is here to help you find the perfect vehicle to fit your lifestyle and budget. And with our streamlined financing process, getting behind the wheel of your dream car has never been easier. Stop by today and experience the Metro Ford difference. We're conveniently located at 1000 Barnes Crossing Road in Tupelo. Online at MetroFordAutoSales.com. That's MetroFordAutoSales.com.
I wish we could get a stuffed crust pizza at a great price.
Get Little Caesars' new large stuffed crunch crust for $9.49.
Look at that delicious crust.
Talk about more bang for your buck.
What did you say? Deal Deer hates two things: bad pizza deals and deer puns.
He's fine. And $9.49 new large stuffed crunch crust is the lowest price in stuffed crust. Little Caesars is the real deal.
Pizza.
It feels like the deck is stacked against you before you even start your business. What's the difference between someone who fails and someone who succeeds? To succeed, you need an edge. You might invent technology that nobody else can imagine. Maybe you make the perfect product with the perfect fit. But what every successful business has is a bank that is there for them. Instead of saying slow down, a bank that asks, what's next? Renaissance Bank, understanding you.
You're listening to the ICC Hour here on Super Talk Mississippi 101.9 FM. In the studio today is Coach Owens and Ramsey Montgomery, a pitcher here at ICC. So I understand there's an interesting story about a cow. Can we talk on this a little bit?
Okay, before Ramsey tells the story, I want everybody to know that everything that I said that's good about Ramsey is still good, even though she called me a cow. Okay?
Okay.
She took a shot at me, but I still love her through that. Okay? And so I want everybody to know that whatever comes out of her mouth, I still do love Ramsey. Did not appreciate the comment, but I still do love her.
So,
take it away.
So I will say this. Anybody that doesn't know Coach Owens, a tad dramatic. You'll be able to see that on a video coming April Fool's Day on Let'sGoICC.com and all of our social media platforms if you don't believe me. So I've already sided with Ramsey on this. I've heard this story, but Ramsey, go ahead and tell your version of the story before we get Coach's.
Okay, so basically we're in the bullpen one day, and Coach Owens is very hardworking, but when it gets hot outside, he gets a little dramatic about the heat. He starts complaining about sweating, everything he can complain about. The heat. He's going to complain. So we're in the bullpen one day, and he is complaining about it being hot and says he's really thirsty.
I was thirsty.
And I told him, which is a quote that my mom's always told me, because my mom was my coach in high school. She's always told me that cows only get water twice a day.
So she equated me to being a cow.
That never
That's
happened.
literally what she did.
No, she was just making a quote.
She equated me, because I was talking about being thirsty, to a cow because I only need water twice a day.
That's a stretch.
That's exactly
It's
what
a
she
stretch.
said.
It really is. And so not only did Coach Owens make me go run a foul pole for calling him a quote-unquote cow, which I never called him, then I got back from running my foul pole, and he made me go to the water cooler and get him a glass of water.
I did.
All for being hot.
And I would do it again in a heartbeat because she called me a cow.
Well, if a cow was really thirsty, they would have went and got their own water.
I agree. Thank you. Thank you.
But that's just a prime example of this team, really all of our student athletes here, and really ICC as a whole. It's a fun, loving family. Ramsey, kind of talk about that, if you will.
It is. That's what I was going to say. Everybody here is so loving and truly cares for you, whether it be on the field, whether it be in the classroom. Even if you're just a regular student, you can see that everyone here truly cares about your education and about you as a person, about you growing as a person while you're here for 2 years. I was only able to get 1 year here, but I can just tell how much everybody here loves and supports me. I'll have people come up to me that I really don't even know, and they'll ask me about softball or they'll ask me about school. And that means the world to me, and it also keeps you going. But just based off the people that I do know here and am around every day, Coach Owens and Coach Monson and my instructors, they are the best humans that I could be surrounded by every single day. They push me to keep going in all aspects. My teachers ask me every day how practice or how school or how our games are going, and then Coach Owens and Coach Monson never fail to make sure that school is a priority. And so that just shows you a little bit about the people here and how much they love and they care for you.
And, you talk about that, and the really cool thing I like about this is, and you'll see it eventually, I'm old, but 5-10 years down the road, you'll see that vibe don't change. When you come back one day, if I'm still here, I'll be like, what's up, Ramsey? It'd be like you never left. And that's one of those, like, we had Mallory Moore, now used to be Mallory Hill. She came on campus the other day. She was a mascot and softball player. And it was like never missed a beat. We found the old mascot suit, so I had to show it to her. I mean, it's just that type of vibe. And she's been gone a few years. I'll just say that. But she was one of the ones whenever I first started working here. And it's really cool to me, and that's my favorite part of this job, is seeing you in 10 years when you've reached the goals you've reached in life. If you've got a family, kids, and then see how the team as a whole still stays in touch. So it's really special. And I think you nailed that on that as well. Go ahead.
Just want to jump in real quick. It is really special. I have also, I'm only going on year 2 here, and myself and Coach Monson. And so tradition never graduates. That's one thing that we talked a lot about when I worked at the University of Alabama is like your tradition here and what you have never graduates. Even though we're a 2-year program and we lose a good chunk of our team pretty much every year, it never graduates if you have the tradition, and that's the ICC tradition. She's sitting here talking, and it truly, you get emotional about it when you think about it, because like, I could coach Ramsey Montgomery for 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
I could seriously do that because she's that good of a human. I could coach every kid on our team for 30 years because they are that good of people. And that's not like blowing smoke. That's not just talking. That's 100% authentic. And I think that's something that's really special about this place is not being from here, not originally being from Fulton, and getting to come here and experience that and get to be a leader in that. It's a really, really cool experience to be a part of. And so when we sit here and talk about that, I know that, some people hear that and it can go in one ear and out the other and blow smoke and all that, but it's 100% authentic. There's good days, there's bad days, but at the end of every day, that everybody here loves each other. And that's a really cool thing to be a part of, not only just for our team, but for our campus.
Unless your name's Maddie Porter. I'm not a big dog kid. I love Maddie.
Maddie Porter, that's true.
That's our relationship. We pick on each other there. Matter of fact, the other day we were at Metor. I'll say it, Metor, even though they're not a sponsor. And she looked at me and trying to get my attention, and she was eating with family, and she just snapped her fingers. And, of course, I just went over there And some of her family was like, really? You have to answer that
That's
too?
Maddie Porter.
So that's 100%
That's
Maddie.
100% Maddie Porter. And everybody will tell you exactly that.
Yes. One thing we haven't done, and I do want to make sure we do this, talk about your instructors and everyone over there on the Tupelo campus that is helping you as well.
So my instructors is Dr. Dee Dee Lomenick and Miss Shannon Frazier.
Yes.
And they are two of the best instructors I have ever had. They were previously both OTs, so they know exactly, what happens every day in a clinic setting, in any kind of setting. They've worked in a lot of settings. And they teach us, number one, how to change lives every single day. Like, they're there obviously to teach us how to do things, but really the things that they allow us to experience every single day is just making us better humans. It's making us better therapists in the future, and they really are incredible. And like I said, there's never been, I think, one time this year that there's been a problem with me going to something, me going to softball, or me going to school instead of softball with either sides. And so that just shows, like, they work so well with me. And like I said, communications is a huge thing for us. I have to go in their office a lot and talk to them. I've had to take them a bunch of schedules and things, but they have really worked with me. They've stayed late hours. They've came in early to help me. They've done everything that they could do to make me successful and to help me with school.
And I've heard so many stories out of our nursing and health science programs where those, and teachers here that's not in the health science as well, where they do go that extra mile because they know that you're here, you're fighting, you're trying to do your best, and they want to meet you halfway and help you reach those goals as well. Coach, kind of talk about that same point of view from a coaching perspective.
Absolutely. So this summer, whenever we were able to finally talk to Ramsey and find out that she was accepted into the program, my first call was to Dr. Lomenick to really see, hey, what do you need from me in order to make this successful? I know Ramsey's going to work her tail off. I know that all of these things that she's going to do on her end. What can I do on my end to make sure that everything goes as smooth as possible? And we laid down the law. We talked about kind of how each semester works, kind of talked about the class schedule and what that looks like. Obviously, when I talked to Ramsey, we kind of went through that too and talked about what that looked like. But just like she said, what we do is we try to give our kids a calendar, like a monthly calendar, to tell them what's going on, when it's going on, where it's going on. So that way they can also share it with Dr. Lomenick, and Ramsey can give it to her and say, well, we play on Tuesday. What do we have going on this day? So on and so forth. And so Dr. Lomenick, from day one, whenever we first made the phone call, was like, whatever we can do to help make it work, we're going to do. And I said, and vice versa on our end. So we actually played Northwest. We talked about it earlier. We played Northwest, and Ramsey went on like a field,
kind of like a field trip, clinical type thing.
And so what we did on our end, they went to the Ashley Institute, and so Ramsey just was able to meet us at the field so she could go and get that clinical experience and all of that stuff done. And then I know that there's been multiple instances where they have worked on their end to reschedule something or do something so Ramsey could come and play with us on a certain day if we're traveling. So it has been, from a faculty and from a coach perspective, it has been a breeze. Now, obviously, a lot of responsibility falls on Ramsey, and so I think the coolest thing about all this is she's a 4.0 student and probably has some of the highest grades, if not the highest grades, in the OTA program. She won't say that, but I will say it for her. And I think any professor that you talk to will tell you that she goes above and beyond. And so it takes a really special kid to do what she's doing. So we can talk about it we can schedule it between myself and Dr. Lomenick all we want to, but until the kid shows up and does what they do, you're still not sure what'll come of it. But I think a lot of testament comes to Ramsey because she is doing such a good job at what she's doing.
So you're graduating with education into your degree in May, correct? From here?
Next May.
Oh, next May.
May of 27.
Okay, so then you're graduating also next May, OTA.
So correct? I'm graduating next May with my occupational therapy assistant degree.
Okay.
This May, I'm graduating with an associate's degree.
Yes.
I believe it's in science or English.
Okay, science.
Something that I took for education. I took enough hours.
So basically, you're graduating in May with an associate's degree.
And she's walking.
Next May, graduating OTA.
And she's walking again.
And then possibly pursuing your master's. And then right now, leading the country in strikeouts, leading the country in some of the best ERA. If nobody's told you, and I know they have, I'm proud of you. You are doing an outstanding job.
Thank you.
And I know a lot of times you don't hear that enough when you go through that struggle, but I am. And I think you've set an excellent example of not just a student athlete, but what you can achieve when you strive for things. And so I hope people listening today kind of picked up that story as well. Anything you'd like to add? Anything else you want to talk about, Coach, about that maybe we can save for another rainy day if we need to embarrass him or anything? But I always like to let you have the last word before we close out.
Yeah, I just want to say this place has changed my life. There's not been a moment since I've stepped on campus that I haven't felt welcomed, I haven't felt like I belong here. I think the first day that I came, I got to talk to Dr. Allen, and like he didn't really even, I mean, he probably knew my name, but he didn't know who I was, and he treated me like he had known me for 10 years. And so that just shows you kind of what Itawamba Community College is about. And yeah, anybody out there that wants to do, wants to play a sport, but also wants to get their degree in something that seems a little hard, nothing's ever too hard it's only hard if you make it, You can make things what you want to, and that's what I've tried to do. I've tried to remember that I'm getting to change lives outside of softball, but also I'm getting to come to softball and play with some of my best friends and finish up my last year of my career.
Coach?
Yeah, I've said it 100 times, but like I tell her every day that I'm really proud of her. What she does, it does not go unnoticed by a lot of people. It takes a really special person to do and go through the day that she does. And we are so fortunate that she wears our colors. And I'm so fortunate to be able to get to interact with somebody like Ramsey Montgomery every day. I love her guts. Everybody that's here loves her guts. And I wish I could coach her for 30 more years. She's that special of a kid. She works her tail off. And I think if you want to be a fan of a kid and you want to be a fan of a person, Ramsey Montgomery is a really good person to be a fan of in all aspects, on the field, off the field. And she's going to change the world one day. Like, she is going to impact the world in a very positive way. And I am so excited that I got a front row seat for a year to get to watch her do her thing and be a part of her story. So.
Absolutely, Ramsey. Look forward to seeing your story continue after ICC. And you already said it. You never graduate here. You're always part of the ICC family.
She promised me she would come back for Alumni Day next year.
Okay,
so
deal.
Even though she said she wasn't technically an alumni, I said you're in a softball alumni, so you will be back for Alumni Day.
Yes,
so
yes.
I've already made that promise.
I like it. Well, we do appreciate everyone that's tuned in this afternoon. If you happen to miss any of today's show, you can go back on our YouTube channel and find it there. Just simply search the ICC Hour. While you're there, be sure to subscribe to the channel. And also, you can subscribe to the athletic channel, Let's Go ICC. We'll have it posted there as well. You can see some highlights of Ramsey and the softball team, nationally ranked softball team, that is, as well. Hope you guys have a blessed week. Join us next Tuesday right back here on the ICC Hour, being presented to you by our friends from Renaissance Bank.
Guys, you're not going to believe the luck I've had lately. Just the other day, I had a flat tire, thought I was in big trouble. Before I know it, somebody pulled it over, fixed the tire.
Oh, that's not luck, Kirk. It's because
That's not the only thing. How about when I'm in a studio, drop the cell phone, bang, shatters completely. Guy hands me a brand new cell phone.
Yeah, Kirk, that's because you have Renaissance Rewards Extra.
Yeah, roadside assistance, cell phone protection, coupon straight to your phone.
And another discount with Renaissance Rewards Extra, Mr. Herbstreit.
Life's just easier when you have Renaissance Rewards Extra.
ICC fans, we've got you covered like never before. The all-new Let'sGoICC.com is your award-winning home for everything ICC athletics, and when it's game time or showtime, head to Let'sGoICCTV.com, the official streaming home for ICC athletics, fine arts, and other special events. Watch it live or on demand anytime, anywhere. Let'sGoICC.com and Let'sGoICCTV.com, your front row seat for all things ICC.
This broadcast is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Metro Ford in Tupelo, Little Caesars, Guarantee Bank in Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, Max Home, Bank Okolona, the ICC BSU, Samstown Market, the ICC Wesley Foundation, the ICC Alumni Association and Foundation, your Itawamba County State Farm Insurance Agent, Brandon Poland, and thanks to donations to the Sports Information Indian Club from viewers like you.
They say Diet Coke is a mom's drink. Well, you copied her jeans, her spin, her shoes, her scrunchie, and whether you realize it or not, her music. Now, copy her drink. Drink what your mama gave you.
Hey, honey, could you help me with this? Today tastes like staying in. And it never tasted this good.
I wish we could get a stuffed crust pizza at a great price.
Get Little Caesars' new large stuffed crunch crust for $9.49.
Look at that delicious crust.
Talk about more bang for your buck.
What did you say? Deal Deer hates two things: bad pizza deals, and deer puns.
He's fine. And $9.49 new large stuffed crunch crust is the lowest price in stuffed crust. Little Caesars is the real deal.
Pizza. It all leads to this moment. It started with stepping out and discovering what you're capable of. Planning your future while learning, serving, and getting a real collegiate experience. Because the place you start can change everything. Itawamba Community College. You belong here.